Yeah. Bro code. We in new modes, and we do it better sticking together. Won't bend, won't fold. No, I got your back through whatever weather, rain, sleet, or snow. Making profit while we get to the cheddar. We in that mode, you know if we got a problem, we pull up in that jet, fit fall on my bros. Collective like the colors in the rainbow. All of that talking you did on the net, we know that you only did it for a post. If I pull up then I'll get in the check, I need me like 500K for a show, or maybe more. And I got all of the stars in the ceiling cause we in a row. Yeah, just for the bros, brothers forever, so you know we got each other back. We aiming for gold, sticking together, careless about the weather, we never slack. Gotta stick to the code. Bro code. We in new modes, and we do it better sticking together. Won't bend, won't fold. No, I got your back through whatever weather, rain, sleet, or snow. Making profit while we get to the cheddar. They know we own. Take off, we gone. Diamonds,
what up? We back in the building. It's your boys from Bro Code. Shouts out to Azure Lounge here in Conyers, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
This is a very beautiful establishment they have here. Thanks to the owners.
Live remote? We doing live remote?
Doing a live remote. We are live and exclusive. When I say exclusive, we got the building to ourselves. Shouts out to...
What we doing?
We're doing a live show.
Okay.
We're doing a live show, so...
Hey, don't forget.
But you a little excited at you, man.
Yeah, I am, man.
He glad to be back in the building.
Gear on, man. You know.
That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna get into it, Coop.
Don't forget, APAP Media. Thank you once again for coming out and what I'm saying.
Mr. P, there it is.
Yep. Thank you for helping us out. Thank you for being there for us.
Yes. Yeah. Shouts out to the owners of Azure, Marvin and Nikki Cotton. Had a chance to meet Marvin a few weeks ago. And I got to learn a little bit about their story and everything like that. Yeah. And it's actually fitting because what we're actually talking about today is entrepreneurship and legacy and everything like that. So Marvin, Nikki, thank you so much for letting us just chill in your establishment. I've heard your story, and I didn't know, Marvin, that you had Cotton's bag of wings before you opened this establishment. So I was not privy to visit your restaurant, but I did pass by there, and it had to be some good things, man, because what you got here at Azure, you and Nikki got going on, it's really good. So thanks again. Thanks to Shayla and her staff, the manager here, Shayla. Thank you so much.
Shouts out, Miss Shayla.
Yes, for taking care of us. We've been working with Shayla for about 2 months now, and she got everything set up for us. So big shouts out to you, Shayla, and your staff. So we are here today. All right, live and exclusive. Live and exclusive. All right, to talk about entrepreneurship, legacy, and what have you. So, we a couple seasons ago, we actually touched on legacy and entrepreneurship and what it meant to us. Right. And actually on that episode, Coop actually introduced his beverage line. And so shouts out to Coop for the Brady Paulina spirit line that he has.
Coming soon.
There it is.
I'm still waiting on my bottle, man.
Yeah, we all still waiting on it,
Good things
man.
come to those who wait, man. It's coming.
Just don't forget.
It has to age, man.
Yes. So let's talk about it, guys. When we talk about legacy, we're raising kids, and we are kids, and we have parents and everything like that. Legacy is very important, and one of the things we talked about the importance of having a will, right? It's very important, right, to have something set aside so that you can protect your loved ones and everything.
Leave your family something except for bills.
Don't leave them bills.
No bills.
Set up a trust. If you got assets, set up a trust. Make sure you don't leave a burden on your loved ones, right?
Funeral costs, expenses, all that stuff, no.
Yes.
We being proactive. We take care of that on the front end.
Yes.
It's already going to be hard enough with the family grieving on the back end. So we want to, definitely try to minimize that impact as much as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, but and to me, it's time for us as a people to stop saying we don't have this, we don't have that, right? So now you stop and start building, right, for your family's future, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you may not see it, but when you're looking down on them, they're gonna be successful, right? But it starts with us today. So no more excuses about I don't have this, I can't do this, my family can't do this, this person kept us down and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's time to stop it and do what you can to push forward and leave something for your young ones, leave something for your family, right? Leave your name, you know what I'm saying? Make your name important in this world.
And then Biden is canceling all these student loans, so y'all ain't got no student loan payments every month. So don't even talk about that no more.
That's right.
That money that you was paying or wasn't paying, because you know, the IRS done started taking your money. Now you got it. You can put it to the side. It only take a few dollars a month. You know, it don't have to be nothing, you know, extravagant.
And shouts out to Biden. I don't know how much longer you got. I know you're probably on the verge of being impeached, but I'm one of those that got those student loans erased. So shouts out to Biden.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So that is 100% legit.
That is legit.
Oh, yeah.
It's legit.
I'm working
Clean
on
it
mine,
out.
so hopefully he'll have mine cleared away before.
I'm telling you,
So
man,
that
37 grand gone. Just
Man,
like that.
for
I couldn't
real?
I
believe
got
it.
way more.
So now you think about that. You
Yeah.
think about the amount you was paying each month for that.
Yeah.
Now that money you can take, put
Yes.
towards, you know, money for your kids' future school,
Exactly.
a trust, a will, you know,
Exactly.
a business.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
pursue some other avenues, entrepreneurial wise. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's
So
definitely easy
let's
to pay.
let's talk about that, like entrepreneurship.
Right.
Is entrepreneurship necessary in the society that we live in now?
I think
Very,
so.
very much
Definitely.
so.
Absolutely,
Very
right?
much so.
I'm gonna say not necessarily.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna say it is, but and this is why, right? Like, I was talking to one of my cousins last night, and he was telling me about his job that he's worked for. I'm gonna say almost 10 years. And, you know, he was probably one of the newer people, right? You're talking about 10 years, so the people that's been there after him or before him, 15, 20, 2,200 people got laid off. 2,200 people that's for 15, 20 years been working for this company. 2,200 people that don't have anything in their back pocket, right?
Right.
So, had they had an entrepreneur avenue, whether it was making cookies, making shirts, doing parties, you know what I'm saying? They would have at least had something to fall back on for the moment until they got back in the corporate arena, if that's what they chose to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, in the day and time that we live in now, multiple streams of revenue is necessary.
And the reason I say that it's necessary for me is because I've been in corporate America for 20 plus years, right? And I've been victim of mergers or acquisitions, right? Where I come to work every day, I do all my reports, I handle my business at work. But when you're a victim of or a product of a merger or acquisition, you really have no choice, right?
No.
So basically, acquisition happens, they're bringing in people from this new company that bought out your company.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's not enough bodies to fill it's too many bodies to fill certain positions, right? So you can be eliminated.
Yeah.
I've been victim of that, right? So for me, it's like, I need to start thinking entrepreneur. What can I have on the side, you know?
So I would say it's more so like make your money work for you, right? Whether you're working for somebody
that too,
else or
definitely.
you
That
working
too.
for yourself, right?
Right.
That extra money that you have, make it work for you in other avenues. It can be investments. It can be
Right.
it can be investing in other companies,
Right.
right? Other friends that are doing business and stuff like that.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be you as the entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is good, but everybody may not be built for that.
Exactly.
Right? Being able to handle all that pressure and stuff like that. Because at the same time, you can be running your business here and somebody else comes in with a similar product, maybe cheaper, maybe better, some kind, whatever they're doing different,
Right.
and basically eliminate you just like that, right?
Yeah.
Because even when we talk about, you know, clothing or restaurants or something like that, you know, sometimes people are, I don't call it finicky, but they'll be like, oh, this is the new thing and it's the new hotness, and then they'll switch over on you,
Right.
even though they were, hey, I was buying it at one point, but then this is something new coming out, right?
Exactly.
So I just think it's more about making your money work for you in different areas, right?
Right.
So I'm not saying not be an entrepreneur or be one, but it's saying when you make that extra money that you have, make it work for you, right? Because, you know, what's it like Warren Buffett says that, you know, in order to be really rich, your money got to be growing while you sleep.
Right, exactly. And you have to understand too that entrepreneurship is not cookies and cream, right? It's very risky.
Yeah.
It's very risky, and I have all props out to people that are entrepreneurs 100%, because they will tell you, when it's good, but when it's bad, it's bad. You know?
And then I have to say this, as far as entrepreneurship, you got to look at it as for, depending on what you're doing, you also have a way of creating jobs for other people. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's my mindset with what I do as far as, you know, movies and plays and stuff like that. You know,
Right.
I'm always casting, I'm always, you know, shooting films and writing plays and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna need people for those things.
Yeah.
So definitely, I gotta make sure my money and my budget is correct for
Right.
one. But then also, you know, you're looking for people that always say, well, there ain't no jobs out there. You can create those jobs.
Yeah.
You're saying by having people come in and be your assistant, or having people come in and be, you know, do props and different things like that. So
Exactly.
it starts, like I said, as far as making other jobs, not only making a name for yourself, but you
Right.
can be that dude. Like, you know what? He didn't have a lot. He started at the bottom, but then he gave other people a chance to even grow with it.
Right.
So to me, that's important.
Right. We live in a society today where, I mean, to be honest, we can be whatever we want to be. We can do whatever we want to do. Right. We're in the process of being right now. We're being as we speak right now.
Oh.
Let's talk hypotheticals. Right. Let's talk. You know, if we watch this show 5 years from now, what's something that we want to tell ourselves right now as far as, you know, what can I be? What can I do? What can I contribute to society? Right? Let's talk about whatever. Let's doing whatever, you know, and how that would look is, I'll say, you know, man, I want to be a boss. I want to have this business, and I can look back 5 years from now. I remember talking about that. I remember saying that this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go out there and do it, so that when it does come into fruition, we're looking like we're speaking things into existence. What's one thing, if you can flip on a switch right now, and say, I can be whatever I want to do. I can do whatever I want to do. What would that be?
So, I get compared, you know, to being the next Tyler. You know, Tyler Perry. I want to be better than that. So, this right here, what we're doing, if I was to flip on the switch 5 years from now, I'm gonna already have a whole new, our own studio and everything flowing for this.
There it is.
My mindset already on finding buildings and different things like that I can already, you know, put all that stuff in motion.
I can see you doing that too,
because
man.
Basically,
Yeah.
I want to be able to basically when it's time for us to record, you know, season 559. You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
Be like, hey guys, meet me at the studio and we're gonna
There it
record
is.
this and be done with it.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, that's what my mindset at, and not just that. Just like I said, being able to shoot films, go on the road, and you know, put my stuff on. But like I
Yeah.
said, coming from a small city, you know what I'm saying? You know, and me and Cool had this conversation. He was like, "Don't do it for Bainbridge, do it for O." You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I always tell myself every time I look in the mirror, I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family.
There it is.
So that's my goal.
There it is. What about you, Rico?
I guess I'm a little bit more simple, right?
We're gonna put him
Like-
on the iPhone.
Huh? Switch over to iPhone?
You
No.
can be an iPhone
No.
user.
I mean, so for me, my plan is to make sure that, you know, my kids don't want for nothing, right, as they grow, right? You know, like I have rental properties, just recently bought, we call it our farmhouse in South Georgia, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something that my kids are gonna have, right? So it's building up that way, and making sure that they know the importance of making the money work for you, right?
Right.
And just knowing that, you know, we like to dress good and stuff like that, but it's not all about the Jordans, it's not all about the jewelry, it's not, you know what I mean? Because that stuff can come and go, right? But, you know, buying stuff like land, property, right?
Yeah.
That stuff right there is gonna, you know what I mean? Like they always say, you're not making any more land, they might not making any more property. And right now, I got 1,000 calls a week, people saying, hey, let me buy this house from you, let me buy this house from you. Like, why, right? It's gonna get to a point to, honestly, I think in probably the next 10 years to where the average job is not gonna pay you enough to live to buy no house, right? Like today, I only know the average cost of a nice house, what you call about $250,000, $300,000 maybe.
300.
And more than enough, more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, mid-threes.
And so most jobs is not gonna allow you, not by yourself, to do that. You're gonna definitely have to have a partner or somebody with you.
Repeat that last part you just said.
You're gonna have you a partner,
Okay,
a person, whatever you want to call that person. I'm just saying a partner, right? In order to afford a nice place to live, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what the fix for that is, right? Me and my wife even talked about in that small southern town that we were in, right? Is potentially even coming together, and that'll be an entrepreneurial ventureship, but it will be buying small trailers and because we own land down there, and maybe putting those trailers out there for people to live on, right?
Yeah.
Very low, you know what I'm saying, low income, for lower income people, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's one idea from entrepreneurship, because I like real estate and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? But that'll be still leveraging land that we already own and stuff
nice.
like that. But again, I'm building this, and it ain't gonna be for me. I mean, I got these grades. I'm starting we starting the age, right? This is gonna be for my kids and my grandkids, right? It's gonna be the Harmon family. You know what I mean? That's what I'm building for.
Harmon legacy.
Like TDJ said, he said, I want to be that dude with my grandkids looking pieces of that old man and help me get to college.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say one thing for me, man. Being in supply chain and logistics for 20 plus years, I mean, I have a passion for operations, but I know that I'm getting to the age where I don't want the stress of operations for the rest of my life, because I've always envisioned having my own freight management company, right? Or either a brokerage and getting some government contracts. Yeah. So I mean, I still want to do that, but I don't want to do that long term. Maybe something I can pass down to my kids or something like that. But something that's been really in me to say, Alan, start claiming it, start speaking it, is I want to do voiceover work. Like I want to do voiceover work. One of my biggest actors is Morgan Freeman. And he has one of those voices. When he talks, you know exactly who that is, right? So that's something that I really want to.
I'm glad you said that. I know somebody, 100% in the game.
Wow.
Look
it up.
Me and you talk all the time, but I've never heard you mention that, right? And he's in the game, and like he's deep in it now, right?
Nice.
He probably started maybe when he first told me, maybe about 7 years ago or so, and like now, like he has I can show many commercials now, and he has a real distinctive voice.
There it is.
Yeah.
What about you, Coop?
Man, I was gonna say the same thing Rico said, man. My spirit line that I've dove off into, definitely get that going and get it to the level that I wanted it.
Because you got some rentals too, right?
Yeah, and also my real estate investment company, man.
Yeah.
Like, I want to continue to grow it, acquire more properties, and like Rico said, it's not for us because we good, like we make good money, but it's for our kids coming down the line. I grew up in it. Like my pops had probably about 10, 15 houses when I was younger, but he never passed that knowledge and understanding down.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, and I want to give you your props, man, because I know we all doing our thing and everything like that, and even the guests that we're bringing on, we're all doing our thing. But I've actually been able to watch you. You know what I'm saying? We've been knowing each other since like snotty-nosed kids and everything like that. So I've watched you be, do what you want to do, be who you are, and just live that mantra and everything like that. So shouts out to you, Coop,
Appreciate
and
it,
everybody that we're gonna have on this set today. So good stuff, man. I do want to take a moment to kind of give some background about our guests that are coming. These brothers have been together, been knowing each other for years, and they've actually
GSU baby, 1995.
I'm telling you, man. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we've been able to put this collab together.
Yes, sir.
But these are some guys that embodies legacy, living with purpose, and now entrepreneurship. So we're gonna take a moment and we're gonna introduce and welcome to the set the creators and founders of Whatever Wear Apparel.
I just want to thank them for my nice shirt. You know what I'm
Nice
saying?
shirt, yeah.
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, y'all can actually take the couches.
Yeah, y'all take the couches.
Take the couches. What's going on? It is. What's up? Y'all come on in,
All
man.
right, fellas.
Grab the
Nice
couch.
to meet you. There you go.
Yeah. I know you, sir.
All right, man.
Recording right
Courtney
here.
right here.
Yep. So welcome to the set, fellas.
Welcome.
Thank y'all for joining the Bro Code podcast. We've been talking about this for a while now. So I mean, it's real exciting to see the collaboration come together.
Yes, sir.
Before we get into it, man, I want to give you guys an opportunity to just introduce yourselves. We want to start with
Courtney Sullivan, Lamont Henderson,
Michael Hodges.
Terrence Howard. The Terrence Howard.
the Terrence Howard.
James, son.
Yes, sir.
So one of the things that stands out with the apparel line.
Remember the class mic.
Yep. one of the things that stands out with this apparel line is it was established in 2001. Y'all keep this one, and y'all keep, This was established in 2001. All right, so we're talking 20 years plus. All right, and so unbeknownst to our fans and our guests and everything like that, we all went to school together. Everybody in this clothing line and Coop. We all went to Georgia Southern, the real GSU. The real GSU. So
Yes,
I know we in Atlanta right now.
Stratford Hall.
There it is.
Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Okay.
Oxford, Dorman,
That's right.
half court basketball all day
Yes,
long.
sir.
You know, so the real GSU is in the building. Right. You know, and in those years, and actually college years was one thing,
Right.
and then we all kind of migrated up to Atlanta and Alpharetta specifically. And, you know, we all lived in that area for some years and got to know each other even on a different level, right? We met each other as young kids, learning responsibility in college, and then that transitioned to young professionals, knowing how to manage your money and everything like that. So it's been quite some span, but I do want to reflect on a time where we had like a good time, right? We had a lot of those, but I do want to reflect on the time we used to go to Miami for Hip Hop Weekend.
South Beach.
Yeah, we used to go to South Beach and hang out every Labor Day weekend, right? Not every Labor Day weekend, but we did a couple of Labor Days in Miami. And this one specific moment, we were actually on Collins Ave just hanging out, right? And you know, Hip Hop Weekend, so you seeing everybody. I remember seeing Terrell Owens just on a moped, just like every 30 minutes, just riding, you know.
With his shirt off.
Yeah.
Tell him to put your shirt on. But I can't pull nothing with your shirt on, boy. Right, you know, I'm trying to get on something. You know what I'm talking about?
So all the baby oil. Man, come on, man. I'm just tucking my stuff in, like, man. You know.
Come on, Chief.
So we you know, we on the strip, we on Collins Ave, and you know, everybody, it's the strip, right? It's on the beach, and it's Hip Hop Weekend. So everybody flossing their cars and their outfits, and everybody trying to holler and everything like that. So this particular moment, we on the corner, the street is right here, and to the left of us, everybody just start running, coming this way. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, all I remember is Terrence pushing off that gate and taking off.
Run across 6 lanes of traffic, talking about don't hit your boy.
Right,
Don't hit your boy.
Yes, so if you can imagine that, you know, black folks, right? It's like you see somebody running, what you gonna do? You're gonna start running, right?
Yeah, question later.
So I remember running. I'm like, oh snaps, I'm about to get ran over. So I duck off in a cut. You know, I turn off in the cut and everybody keep running. But I just remember that moment because we laughed so hard about that. But that just kind of goes to the
So why was y'all running?
Right. I
We still don't know.
We still don't know.
I wanted to understand that. Like, okay, what y'all running for?
We don't ask no questions.
You know what's
We
weird
never
about
found out.
We never found out.
it? You know what's weird about it though?
What's that?
We planned it.
We did.
said if something happened, this is what we're gonna do.
Take it off.
Of course, we abandoned all the plans.
Because I ducked off. I should have kept going. I ducked off. Y'all was at the car. I was like, yeah.
We don't know why we was running, but we do know we had to run.
Right.
Find out about that later, boy.
Man, so I mean, I just wanted to share that story because I mean, it just shows like the amount of time we've been knowing each other and kicking and everything like that. And in those times, in 20 plus years, we've grown to be men of society, men of family, men of faith, and everything like that. And while we're on this set today, is to talk about legacy and entrepreneurship. And we're going to get into some questions and answers, but I do want to thank y'all again for coming. And we're actually here later on. We are going to have a launch party for our apparel line, whatever wear, and it's going to start at 7 o'clock. So for those that's watching maybe live, 7 o'clock, come back and join us and everything like that. Okay. So we got introductions out the way. So let's get into some of these questions real quick. All right. Yeah. So I mean, everybody's rocking the gear. Oh yeah. Look, and we're gonna get into it, and we can kind of tell about the line and everything like that. And actually, if somebody wants to take the lead to kind of tell about the apparel line.
Yeah, man. Get the folks a background, man.
Well, I mean, as they said, it started a while back in 2001. It was on a whim too.
Yeah.
We sitting around like we do up in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Yep.
You know, they had Decatur where it's greater, but you know, we dubbed it on Alpharetta where it's better.
Right. That's right.
And
That's your opinion.
it is an
You talking about
opinion.
it was only 6 of us, 6 black people. Yeah,
Yeah, it was only
I know it couldn't be many
Time.
back then.
Right.
You see all the black people out
Yeah.
That's it. It was us.
Yeah, right. And during the
Michael
time,
Vick.
like a commercial came on, and
Yeah.
you know, at the time, like they had different clothing lines coming out, Rockaware, you know, Sean John. I think even Eminem dropped a line, Slim Shady. So we sitting there. I was like, man, I forgot
That's
about
right.
that. I was
That's
like,
right.
everybody coming out with a line. Man.
Yeah.
We need to start a line.
Yep.
I'm just gonna call. You know, we should start a line called whatever way.
Yep.
And from there, that's where it started.
I mean, literally, it took off. I mean, yeah. And we used to go to. I remember going to the what do you call them? Not the accessory stores, but the wholesalers. The wholesalers down on Buford Highway.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had everything, all the shirts, and you didn't have to, go to a vendor or send out to a vendor. It was right there. It's almost like, shirts being made in the Philippines. That quality was right there on Buford Highway. So, and that's the approach we took. We had our trademark. It literally was a man holding his hand like this.
Yeah.
That was our logo.
Because that's the universal sound. Like, what do you want to do, man?
Whatever. So yeah, that's how it transpired.
I remember running into you back in 2001, had to be, and I was home from the military one weekend at the gas station on Shotwell, at the Shell
I
station.
probably was driving that Silver Maxima.
You was, and we probably hadn't seen each other at that point since like what 98,
Yeah, it was
probably.
a long
I think.
time, yeah.
So it had been a minute. So we caught up, and then of course you pulled out the card.
Yeah.
You was like, yeah, man, we started a clothing line.
Right.
Me, Mike, Lamont, Terrence, Courtney.
Yep.
I remember the card with the dude. I'm like, with the silhouette. I'm like, whatever.
Right, and we got real
That's
creative
funny,
too,
though.
man. We
Yeah.
got real creative.
Yeah,
We was
I
having
did.
our logo on our hood. I mean, we had jumpsuits, we had t-shirts.
Back when velour suits were hot.
Velour suits.
Oh,
Yeah. So let me ask you, so Terrence, like, what were some of the challenges that whatever kind of came across, 20 years ago, and then even some of the challenges that we're experiencing now?
So 20 years ago, like our big thing was we were both young. All of us were young professionals, just started.
Yeah.
So our big issues were capital, being able to have money, because like most of us, all of us were just starting out working. Like nobody had a ton of money. Like
Right.
we all were just starting out in the workforce. So
Right.
our big issue was being able to have enough money to put into this idea, and then being able to do things. But the other issue part of that was like the more clothing or the more stuff we try to produce, it costs money to do those things.
Yeah.
And back when we tried to do those things in 2001, you had to purchase a certain amount to be able to get people to do it for a discounted rate.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
back then, like we had to put $3,000-$4,000, $5,000 down. Who has that kind of money?
Right,
man?
exactly.
Well, we on
We
a
making-
shoestring budget. You know what I'm talking about?
We making $30,000 a year back then.
You made $30,000. My first job, I made $28,000 hot dollars, and at the time, I thought I was balling. Now that I realize you were far from balling.
Right.
But then in 2000, it was like those were our issues: not having the capital, not having the money, then not being able to be able to do the things we thought we wanted to do.
Right.
So like when we revisited the idea last year, we didn't have those barriers to entry anymore. So like we can, there's a middle ground now. So like we don't have to have physical inventory.
Right.
We can have a middleman. Like we have a website. We have people. Somebody else is having those landed
the
costs.
operations,
All we're doing is providing our feedback on what we want our stuff to look like, and we don't have to put so much capital in.
Right,
exactly.
And we're not kind of shoestrung by not having enough money to be able to do the things we want to do.
Yeah.
And those methods in place now, it's like print on demand is what they call it.
Right,
drop shipping. They didn't have that type of that apparatus back
Did
then.
not
So,
exist.
Right.
I mean, for people who want to start out and start now, you don't need that much money to start.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't have to buy a whole bunch of inventory and put a whole bunch of capital into it.
Yeah, and literally, man, back then, marketing was a tough thing too. Marketing, social media wasn't back then, and then having to model. I mean, you have to like model your gear, your apparel, right? Now they have virtual, like you can have virtual models. You can put your gear on somebody you never met, probably somebody that doesn't even exist. With AI now, So I mean, it's totally different now. But starting out back then, yeah, we had those challenges. Yep. Oh, you got a question?
So basically, like I said, seeing you guys just starting out with this new clothing line, for somebody like myself who would probably looking to upgrade my closet sometime soon, what makes you guys what would be you would say unique about this clothing line that would make me want to even invest my money in it?
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I preface my answer by saying this. So we live in a capitalistic society. And capitalism, like you guys were talking earlier, it's free form, it's free open, it's an open market, right?
Yeah.
And what that breeds is variety. And variety generates choices, right? So the consumer, I mean, it's up to them to decide what they really want, right? Like that's it. And so a lot of times when you think about variety, you think it may be a challenge, but it's not. So you can own Nike, you can own Adidas, you can own whatever wear, right?
Yeah.
And so, with that, just want to say, like, thank everyone who's been supporting us, right?
Yeah.
But think about it. So when growing up, society, what would they say to us about when they approach you about what you want to do when you grow up? You can be what?
Whatever
you want, right?
That's right. That's
So,
right.
I mean, with whatever we're not only trying to sell an apparel, we're trying to sell a mindset. And so the whole brand rallying cry is being, doing, becoming.
Yeah.
And like you guys touched on earlier, attempting to try and, pursue entrepreneurship, what we feel is you need to know who you are first.
Yes.
You need to know thyself.
Yes.
Like,
Very
so
important.
if you don't know thyself, you'll start, going down a road or a path, and then you have to retract and come back. So
Right.
our brand really is a representation of that. Like, being in the moment, being present, being deliberate, being intentional.
Yeah.
And once you discover that, you can do and become. But being is where your worth is. And that's why we kind of emphasize this whole, know thyself first.
Yeah.
And then you become, what you want. And we're not necessarily talking about just the serious things too. Like, we're talking about, like, I think you mentioned that, you mentioned something about, well, you're a little bit more conservative, right? Entrepreneurship is good, but you can do hybrid. You can have a corporate job
That's
like
right.
we're doing,
Yeah.
and also have
That's right.
a business. That's what a lot of people are doing.
Another means of income.
Yeah, and
That's
so
right. Yeah.
that's again, it's like, but also in your fun, like, break out the monotony. Go skating one day.
Yeah.
We still, when I first moved to Virginia, we did an adult skip day. just to break up the monotony, because we get caught up in these perfunctory roles,
Yeah.
and we just kind of forget who we are, and so we
That's true.
constantly just
That's true.
rote memory, and so we just saying, in all aspects of your life.
And you have to be
Be
intentional
whatever.
about it. You have
Right,
to be
you have to be
intentional about
intentional
it.
and
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
That's good stuff, man. That's real good stuff.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you should. Okay. So it's been 20 years, right, since y'all started, 20 plus years, we'll say, 2001, right? Yes. So what went into the decision to bring the brand back? You know what I'm saying? What was that thought process like?
So a couple of things. So I just want to kind of echo kind of a little mindset earlier. Doing whatever way, it's about, it's personal. So you can take from it whatever you want. For me, being present, being engaged, being in the moment.
Yeah.
I know we're all come off the holidays, being around family and friends, and now you go to dinner, everyone's on their phone. Like no one's actually being in the moment, being present.
Yeah. Right.
Doing things that make you happy, that bring you enjoyment.
Yep.
And that final thing is becoming.
Yeah.
And becoming is about progress, not perfection.
Right.
I know one thing I struggle with. I want to make sure things are done right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you overthink things. You kind of
Yep,
kind of
definitely.
paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thinking behind being, doing, becoming. To answer your question now, so it's kind of a combination of what Terrence said earlier. A lot of the barriers of entry are gone now, also too. And I know for me personally, we spend so much time, energy, and effort into building things for other people.
Yeah.
How about take a small portion of that and kind of invest into yourself?
Yeah.
And your
Certainly.
job is, like someone said, like your job or your salary is what people kind of pay you to defer your dreams.
Right.
And I kind of want to get away with that. All of us being from relatively smaller towns, we kind of quote unquote, we've made it.
Right, right.
And I know for me personally, I just felt like this itch, like this nudge that I wasn't, kind of where I wanted to be. Like, no matter how many promotions I got, my raises, no matter what my title was, I just felt like I wanted more.
Yeah.
So that's part of our reason going into it. Shouts out for Lamont, because even during our hiatus, he would print out a shirt here or there, or he'd kind of, shoot us a text as far as an idea. And like I say, once those once those different technologies became available, once those different obstacles were out of the way, we're like, why not? We said, why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that, man. Yeah, you're definitely right because they do that to us.
Yep.
You know, it's so comfortable and easy to work a corporate job or go work for somebody else because we know that their check is coming week to week or bi-weekly. And, you know, we in our minds, we're thinking, I could make so much more money.
Right.
If I did X, Y, Z.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, our culture taught us that, though. Right?
Yeah.
Our culture said, go to school,
Go to
stay on
college,
the
like,
job,
right.
stay
Right,
there for
right,
20
right.
years,
That's right.
30 years, 40
like
years.
that.
Yep.
They never really promoted entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
So we just kind of did how we were raised.
Exactly.
Right? So
Yeah.
we have an opportunity to tell a different story,
That's
know,
right.
for our kids, you know, their kids and, you know, future kids to come.
That's right.
Just tell a different story.
Yeah, and
So
I actually want to touch on that too. Towards the end, I want to touch on that. But what you got?
Now, I was going to say, I'm going to be honest, I always thought entrepreneurs were lazy. Right, I thought they
They got to be the complete opposite.
Right, so it wasn't until I stepped into the realm myself that I realized that ain't more work than what I thought it was
It's all
going
on
to be.
you.
If
That's
you don't,
right.
if you be lazy,
It's all on you.
If you don't get up,
You're gonna be
ain't definitely ain't
successful or
gonna
you're
be
gonna be a
Right.
failure.
That's
And
right.
you don't
That's
have
right.
nobody looking
Yeah.
but you. If you don't make no money, it's on you.
Yeah.
But you can make as much as you want, yeah.
Exactly.
And one thing real quick too, also, like for us back then, we really have a blueprint of how this works.
Right.
And now as time went past,
Yeah.
we kind of exposure leads to expansion. So
Yeah.
now, like I said, now you see people do it. You see a blueprint. You know, you
Right,
see,
right.
You see all these different black clothing lines. You see, you know, Tyler Perry. You see, you know, Will Packer. It's like now you have a blueprint, an idea that this is possible.
Yeah. So my question was, what makes your line different? And I've heard that, right? But I know we briefly talked about social media and stuff like that. Do you all think? I had a friend. She was working on a custom luggage line, so book bags, and y'all got some nice bags. You know what I'm saying? We were getting them, and I started trying to partner with her to make it. You know what I'm saying? Basically flourish, right? She recently decided to kill off the luggage line and everything like that, right? But in the middle of that, we were actually trying to talk to some people to try to get some influencers or somebody to wear it, to take it out or whatever, right? And this is all custom stuff, custom to order, right? But do you all think it's necessary to get somebody with a huge following in social media to potentially wear your clothing and help you, you know what I'm saying, get it out there? Because I mean, yeah, we got social media, but you still got to get people to look at it, right? And if you find a TI, right, if he throwing your stuff on, right, I guarantee you all of a sudden your order's gonna be going through the door just because of the people that follow him. Do you think that's gonna be necessary, or is that necessary for most clothing lines or even yours to flourish?
I think it depends on, you know, where you're trying to go. What's your end goal? If you're trying to be amongst the masses and just like, you know, just have, you know, make $1 million, you know, that could be. You know, you need a big influencer to get that big following. We're more about legacy building, leaving something back, and providing a message.
Yeah, but you're looking for the bread. At the end of the day, I mean,
I mean, to me, like anybody that steps into the entrepreneur ring, the end goal is to make money.
Yeah.
And the end goal is to make a ton of money so that you can be comfortable and you don't have to necessarily worry about financial security, right? So I know for me, if once mine get going,
Passive.
what I need to give you 500,
right?
1,000,
Yeah.
cool. Because I know I'm finna get that tenfold.
Right.
Because if you got 1 million followers and even if half of them go buy a bottle, I done made that money back plus some. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think we were talking about that last night at dinner. Would you asked that question about managing the social media and somebody else, you know, promoting the product? Yeah. If it's somebody with a big following, why not? Because that little money that you finna get them, you finna make that back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a no-brainer.
Kind of elaborate on what Rico was saying. I mean, if you think about it, what makes it different, right? So when you think about consumer buying, there's a psychology behind it. Like, I mean, there's analytics, there's all that.
Yeah.
And it's even more nuanced with black consumers, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Because, you know, like you said, you may need someone famous, you know. Because, you know, one of the challenges that we face, because we're a novice and artists, it's just kind of new to us, is support. You know, and so if it's not someone famous wearing it, if it's not well known,
From our culture.
Yeah, from our culture.
From our
That's
culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking of. Which is it's a whole different
That's
topic.
right.
Right.
I don't even want to go down there. You know, and that's
Right.
one of the messages we're trying to say. Like, it's not your being. Your worth is in your being.
Yeah.
And you make the clothes. That's the whole point of what I'm wearing. Like,
That's
it's
right.
like you're the one making it
Yeah.
worthy. You're giving it value. So, in my mind, whatever wear is a brand for the people, by the people, because
Right.
you're going to determine what it is. You can be you don't have to be, an athlete or a rapper.
You can be the garbage man.
Yeah, you can be a
Yeah.
great. You can
That's
be
right.
just be. You can be a. You can be a debater. You
Yeah.
can be a good fisherman. I don't know. You want to start your own, rib shack. Like that's what it is. It's like you're determining what you are.
Right.
No one else is.
But that's also what is separating us from other lines. You get, and no knock to any line, any
Of
label,
course.
is that they all tell you what they want you to be. Right? Be like Mike. Right? They want you
What I said the
to
other
be
night.
like that.
Yeah.
We're asking you, what do you want to be?
Yeah.
Who do you want to be? What do you
Right.
want to do? Right? So
Yeah.
that's our differences in
Yeah.
everybody else. Like, we're not trying to tell you what to do, and we're
Yeah.
not saying just because this person wears this or drinks this that you have to do it.
Exactly.
Right? Like, what do you want to do? You might not like Gatorade, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
Right.
I mean, you don't have to
Right.
drink because somebody
I like
famous or
Powerade.
athlete drinks it.
Yeah.
Don't
And
say
then,
it
and then
more.
they're also they're celebrating athletes and entertainers. We're celebrating the everyday person.
Every day.
Like, that's what we're
You're
celebrating,
famous in
right?
your own way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know, you could be the best
Neighborhood
business in your
famous.
neighborhood, the best doctor in your neighborhood, the best
Exactly.
analyst in your neighborhood,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Yeah, best dad,
That's
right?
right.
See what
That
you
part,
guys
yeah.
doing.
That's
Like,
right.
That's
The movies.
We number one, baby.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this platform that you guys offer, man, like this is awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for us,
It's our
it's
first
more of the message. Yeah, you want a huge following, but it's more of the message and people supporting what you're actually trying to teach and everything like that. So real good conversation, guys.
Love
Thanks
it,
for
man.
answering
Love
those,
it.
those questions. Yeah, go ahead.
So, it's 5 of y'all?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question would be, because like this, I feel like this is one of the main things that play, since we're talking about culture, this is one of the main things that play the black culture. Okay. You guys been friends for, 20 plus years,
Yeah.
something like that? Okay.
20 plus.
So that has to play a part in the decision making when it comes to, like Rico said, the end goal, which is, should be the money. You said not necessarily all the time, but money is important. You don't want to do all this work and not having the benefit, because you can leave a legacy all day long, but if they ain't got nothing to move forward with as far as money wise, then you really leaving a legacy. So my question is basically, how important is this friendship to be able to make those decisions where basically if you make $500, you ain't worry about having to split between 5 people, because you know, hey, we boys, we put this together, like the real money gonna come, because you got some people like, you make 500, now you gotta worry about who looking over your shoulder, or who's stabbing you in the back, stuff like that. You understand the question I'm asking?
I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying, but then to elaborate on that, like when we first started out, that would have been more of a question for us when we first started out, being able to make money and how the split was going to be. Right. But as we matured and become more adult, and we think about business as it is a business now, it takes money to make money, and we cannot look at any kind of profit, anything that we sold and made, and then think about we can automatically take that money out, because we need to be able to put the money back into the business to make something. Exactly. So with age and with maturity and knowing, being 40-year-olds now beats being 20-year-olds when we started this. Yeah. So when we're being 40-year-olds now, we understand it. No, we can't. We made $1,000. We don't need to take that $1,000 out and get $200. What am I gonna do? Buy some Jade? I'm gonna buy some Jade. But
We know you gonna buy some Jade.
But we need to keep that money. We know that money is for the business to be able to prosper. Like you can't get into this thing automatically thinking I'm gonna make one shirt and that shirt is gonna go big and we're gonna be a millionaire. Yeah. That's not how it works. Right. So it's progress. Like I've learned, progress is a process. Right. To get where we want to go, you have to go through the steps you need to be. Your steps that are there to get to where you want to be.
Right. You have to fall in love with the process.
Right.
Not the outcome, because if you, it's a journey.
Yes, sir.
And so if you're looking at the outcome, you're outcome oriented. You're always going to be. You have to. That's what this whole focus is about. Yeah, is about. So you have to just make sure you love the process.
Yeah. And then too, like any person that's stepping off in the entrepreneurial arena, that's a 1 to 5 year window where you're not gonna make no money,
right?
And you're gonna constantly be putting money into it. And you, like Lamont said, you have to love it, and you have to to believe in the process to be able to get the outcome that you're looking to get.
Exactly.
And it takes money to make money, like you said, Terrence. And
Did I get you?
you know,
No, I'm saying to both of your point, like saying like doing it now at an older age, having the maturity.
Right.
So now it's not a situation where we gotta sell a shirt because I got to pay rent.
right? You're not penny pinching.
Right. So we're looking at the long picture.
Right. Yeah.
And just like you say, like guys were talking about legacy. Like the biggest thing is, I think like everybody gets a dash. Day you're born, the day you die.
Yeah.
What do you do with your dash?
Your dash. Exactly. My
So
mom's
that's-
big
so,
on
right.
that.
So that's
I
something
ain't
that's
never heard it
important
said
to me.
like that.
Wow.
What you
Yeah,
do-
did you
what
hear
do
that,
with
Cheryl?
dash?
That dash. You always talk
do
about
that
that.
dash.
Yeah. I do want to, because we're about to wind it down and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to think, and maybe just one person answer. What would you tell your 20 to 26-year-old self right now as it relates to just life and maybe entrepreneurship? And, we talked about, the way our parents taught us just go to school and go to college and get married. And, what would you tell your 20 to 26-year-old self? Or, hey, us being fathers, what would you tell your child that's going to be in that arena at some point? What would you tell?
For me, I would just say progress, not perfection.
Okay.
Just keep going. Keep going.
Don't
keep
be
going.
hard on yourself, right?
Don't be hard on yourself.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be scared to fail.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I have to go back to, you have to know thyself first.
Yeah.
So once you know yourself, and then you know how to operate. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know yourself, you're just gonna be failing all over the place. So
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't try different things,
Right.
but know who you are.
Yeah.
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 And the last thing I would add is invest. Like if I could tell my 26-year-old self something that I didn't do at 26,
Yeah.
invest.
And-
Invest in invest in yourself, and
Yeah.
invest in the stock market or something for yourself, because nobody
Yes.
is investing in you except for you.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's it, fellas. Hey,
Thank you, guys.
We just
We
hit a
gonna-
lot
hey,
of stuff. So
whatever,
before-
well, crew.
Yes, thank y'all so much for blessing the stage and all that insight
sir.
right there. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do our last segment, what we call Ask Bro Code. All right. So we have people that come in and they ask questions anonymously. Some give their names and everything like that. So I'm going to ask somebody to pick a number. Let me find it here. 1 through 12. And I'm going to ask somebody to select it here. All right. Do me a favor and pick a number 2 through 12, but don't pick 3, okay? 2 through 12, but don't pick 3.
Are you telling them to pick 3?
No, don't pick 3. 2 through 12. 7.
He said 7.
All right, here's the question. What makes you want to commit, be exclusive, or get married? All right, that's the
So it's a
question.
relationship question, y'all.
It's a relationship question.
Entrepreneur.
What makes you want to commit, be exclusive, or get married? Like, what's that one thing about somebody that would make you say, okay, I want to commit to this?
Oh, well, that's a good question.
This,
So y'all-
this is
y'all
Ask Bro
married
Code.
guys.
Yeah, this
we gonna put on the married guys.
This, I guess, this is for Courtney. You want to take one?
Hold on, where your wife at?
I think going into it with the intention of being of service. I think a lot of times, you have to be able to willing to give someone something that you don't need. So yeah, just being of service. Being of service is not the same thing as being a servant.
I like it. I like it.
For me, I found somebody that was selfless instead of selfish. When a lot of times you find people that they're always thinking about how something could make them happy, or something, how this does for me, what this does for me.
Yeah.
I was blessed with my wife, and she sees of how it can help everybody.
Yeah.
She's selfless instead of selfish, and and I think that's one of the most that's the driving force behind the success of my marriage and everything.
Yeah.
And I can attest to that too.
Yeah.
Aisha,
Yeah.
I love that banana bread. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know.
Shouts out to Aisha. She's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. And yes, you are blessed. T.
Yes,
You
sir.
are blessed.
I mean, I would say now with the knowledge that I have, you definitely want to get someone who's creating and building with you.
Yeah.
Because partnership. Because a relationship consists of partnership, companionship, and relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so those 3 aspects have to be met.
Yeah.
And it's about doing, and becoming together.
That's right.
Now don't get it twisted. Being, doing, becoming.
For the people in the back that they hate. The last part.
He just wants you to say partnership again. Go ahead, man.
Partnership is with anything because it's an aspect of every relationship, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a business, situationship.
Right. That's it.
It requires that. And
that's right.
So yeah.
I want to add to what Terrence said. We said about the selfless part, and I learned this. I've been married. I'm divorced now, but I didn't know. Well, the thing is, you get into relationships to give.
Yeah.
A lot of people have their own selfish reasons of why they get into a relationship. That means so they're going to get something.
That's right.
Right. But the most important key is to get in it to give.
Yeah.
So if both parties are giving, then both parties are receiving. So nobody's well is ever empty.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's one key thing that I think that everybody needs to keep in mind.
What about you, Rico? I want to hear your purpose.
Oh, okay.
You go ahead and educate us.
So my whole thing is that it may not be, it's a partnership, of course, right? But it's going to be different types of partnerships, right? Because some, you know what I'm saying, I may be a person that don't want my wife to work. So I don't need a 50-50 from a monetary standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So I mostly feel like once you get with a person and you feel as if in your situation that's something that you don't want to lose, then that's when you commit. If you say I don't want to lose her, if she's doing whatever she's doing right, whatever you're doing, if that's the perfect situation for you, that's when you commit.
Yeah.
So whether she might not work, she might not clean, she might not do anything, but she might not cook. It could be that. But if you in a happy situation and that's what you want and you don't want to lose that, and she may only do one thing that you like.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're willing to commit to, and that's what you want, then and you don't want, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's gonna be different. So it's like once you get in a situation that you don't want to lose, that's good for you, then commit.
Last thing I'm gonna add. This last thing, we talk about this a lot. If you get somebody that says these 3 words, sometimes I know I mess up because a lot of times people don't tell you. People don't admit or they don't understand. Like I know I mess up. We mess up, but some people can't. Some women can't see that they mess up. Being accountable,
accountability.
Like
That's
I
right.
like having that person that says, you know what, players mess up too.
Yeah.
And then okay, we can go through it instead of like it's your fault. This happened, that happened. No, I know I mess up.
Right.
My fault. I'm gonna get that done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I know we about to close out, man. It's all good.
It's all good.
I know we about to close out, man, but
I messed up.
I just want to say
Players
this
mess
real
up
quick,
too.
man. You know, I've known y'all guys for a long time, man, all the way back, 1995, you know. And we're a long way from 1995, you know, Georgia Southern. And I just want to say, as a man, you know what I'm saying, business-wise, father, I'm proud of all y'all, man. You know, we all done grown.
Yeah.
You know, we've all,
Appreciate it.
you know, went down our own paths.
That's right.
Joined paths, you know, went out and came back together. And, you know, I just want to say, you know, I love to see that, man.
Yeah,
The
appreciate that,
friendships
cool.
are still intact.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, we picked up back from when we used to meet out in the courtyard.
That's
you know,
right. In the union.
It's all good, yeah. Them union days, you know.
I feel like this, man. Like we as we all got our hands in something.
Yeah.
But I truly feel like, and I'm a type of person like this right here. If I know somebody that's doing something, that's trying to get somewhere, then I don't mind trying to help you. So like I said, knowing you guys with this clothing line and seeing what you guys been doing, saying me and AC, all this, we've been boys for a long time. So you know, basically I'm extending the invitation to you guys once, because you know, actually I do plays and movies. So I'm always looking for vendors who want to come and have their products, whatever. So you guys are always welcome to come in when I have shows. To basically see who wants to, you know, intake and make some money off of it.
Nice. Yep.
Last thing, follow us at whateverword.co and website whateverword.store.
There it is. Yeah.
Get into that, yeah.
Doing and becoming.
Is it?
All right, so hey, thanks to all of I didn't say this at the beginning, all of our IG fans, Facebook, YouTube, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
Like, get those notifications. Bro Code is on the way. Whatever wear is on the way.
Get you some whatever wear gear, man. Come on.
Support black business.
Yeah.
One time, we out. Peace.
Peace.